And we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Iconic Leadership Group. And this is Iconic TV. We're live every Friday. And guess what we're talking about today? We are talking about something that's urgent. That is this. We're talking about how do you max out your marketing? What is it that you can do to completely have hyper growth in your business by having excellent marketing? Now, I know you guys are doing a lot of marketing and you're always looking for more content and more content. And how do I get people to pay attention? And how do I get people to listen and take action? But then it's like crickets, isn't it? And everything you're doing, people might see it, but they don't comment, they don't engage, they don't take action. And as a result, your business isn't growing. So we are in the middle of a 3-part series on hyper growth phenomenon. And there is a phenomenon about growing your business very, very quickly. It's just, why is it a phenomenon? Because so few people know how to do it. And they don't understand what are the secrets that you need to do. And there are actually several different parts to it. Last weekend, we talked about how do you do it as far as how do you have hyper growth in your sales? Now, if you missed that, just go ahead and type down below replay, and we will get you a replay so that you can come watch that. And you can see there's 5 steps that you actually had to take. And that is how you're going to have hyper growth in your sales. And today, what we're talking is about the other 86%, maybe 85%. And that is your marketing. If your marketing isn't on point, your business simply will not grow. If your marketing isn't on point, you never get to the point of having sales. So this is why this is so important today. And then next week, 5:05, every Tuesdays when we have Iconic TV, we're going to talk about the servicing. How do you serve your clients so that you can continue to get growth once they come into your business or into your practice? Okay. So again, we are here every Tuesday, 5 p.m. My name is Dr. Connie Scavella. I am your host and the founder of the Iconic Entrepreneur Group. I'm a 2-time #1 best-selling author and international speaker and a business growth strategist. And my whole focus is turning your business around. How do we get your business to go from 6 figures to 7 figures in 1 year? That is my specialty. And we do it without all the stress and the struggle and the overwhelm that most people have when they're trying to grow their business. Now, this is a 3-part series. So today we're halfway through. It is the last day of August. So I hope you guys are excited. And we need to really pump up the marketing, okay? Because content is king, but it is nothing if nobody engages on it. So there's 3 things that we're going to talk about today when you're trying to max out your content. And one of the things that you might have seen in the intro is that part of the content that you really should be looking at is, what about the content that magnifies you? What about the content that is actually edifying you? Okay. And one of the best ways to do that is with a book. If you are an author, it gives you instant credibility. If you struggle with imposter syndrome, wondering if people buy it, why should they pay this much? How do I get a high ticket offer? How do I not become invisible in the sea of online people that are out there, and everybody's flooding the market right now? But how do you stand out? Well, part of that is your marketing. And one of the marketing pieces should really be your book. Okay. And so I want to remind you guys, if you've seen this, if you've heard us talking about it, we are doing a live Zoom call this Thursday. Okay. It's going to be a holiday weekend. So right before the holiday weekend, I want you to come to this Zoom before you take off on Friday. It's going to be Thursday night at 5:30 p.m. All you have to do is type Zoom down below, #Zoom down below, and our concierges will help you. Who's going to help you? Well, we have a bunch of them here today. Can't do any of this without them. We have Angie here in the house. We also have Richard. We have Grace. We have Sherry, and we have who else do we have? I'm going to think Ciara. Ciara, how could I forget you, right? So we have a whole amazing team that is here to help you. So if you're going to want to replay for this one, maybe part 1 and maybe part 3, type replay down below. We'll make sure to put you on the list and get your replay every time. And the best way to do it is just to make sure that you are checking in your DM, because we will give you a welcome gift when you check in. And we have, I think, about 30, 40 new people here today. So we want to welcome you guys, and there is a welcome gift waiting for you. So check your messages. You can check up in the message up there or in your DM. One of our concierges, you have one that is assigned to you, and they will help you with anything that you need. If you need appointments, if you need resources or training materials or anything. Our whole goal here at the Iconic Entrepreneur is to help educate you and give you the strategies and the principles that will skyrocket your business and at the same time elevate your mind as well. Because in order to get to a 7-figure business, a lot is going on in there, a lot is going to change, and it's a whole different mindset. It's a whole different ball game, as a matter of fact, from 6 figures to 7 figures. So we want you set up for that kind of success. And what we are doing is helping you with that. If we can do anything faster, which is our secret niche, everything is faster than anybody else, we want to show you how to do it. And on Thursday night at 5:30, we are having a special Zoom call. It's not going to be in the group, so you have to type #Zoom, and it is to help you write your own book. And if you would like to write your own book, get seen, you could get heard, you could get more paid more often, and we will do that for you, and we're going to show you how to do it in 13 weeks, okay? So if you've always wanted a book, 87% of the population has always wanted to write a book. And now we're going to show it to you how you can actually do it in just 13 weeks. It's true. So before Christmas ever comes around, you are going to have your book written. It's done. Okay. And that means you can start the year off fresh with a brand new book. So just go to, just type #Zoom or #author if you want to, and we will get you on that list. It is me. It is live. It is it's not just me. I have the publisher that we're working with. The publishing house Cast and Stone is going to be there as well. And you're going to ask us anything. Okay. We're going to give you the content and show you exactly what it takes to get a book done in 13 weeks. And then the floor is wide open and you can ask us anything. So just go ahead and type #Zoom and we will help you out. So today, let's go ahead and move forward on what we're talking about today. Again, we're talking about hypergrowth in your business, and how do you do it? By maxing out your marketing. How do you get the most out of your marketing in the shortest period of time? What I'm not talking about is putting a whole bunch of money into ads. That is not what I'm talking about. We're talking about the actual process of your marketing. Do you have a system for marketing? That is essential. Or are you all over the place? Are you feeling overwhelmed by your business because you're trying to do everything, and then you're trying to put out marketing, and you're trying to do your sales at the same time? You have to have a system. All right. And the way we work and teach our clients to work is with a 5-hour workday. But if you're spending 5 hours just on trying to come up with your content, it isn't going to work. One of the things we do recommend is that you have a specific content strategy. Okay. So that is the first of 3 steps that I want to talk about today. Is what is your content conversion system? Is there a way that your content is actually going to convert? Do you know when you put it out there that it is going to convert? And so let's go ahead and talk about that. And first of all, just as far as overwhelm goes, and as you're checking in, go ahead and say hello. Let me know who's here. Say hi. If it is your first time, put the number 1 in the comment. And if you've been here before, put the word pro down below, okay? And let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know, are you like East Coast, West Coast time? Let me know where you are. So it's always kind of fun to see where people are coming from. And I hope you all are safe wherever you are living right now. And so let's go ahead and get started. What is this part of it, right? This is important, a content conversion system. Do you have a content conversion system? And one of the examples I want to give you about this is when you look at all of the ways and all the pieces that you can have, all the types of content that you can have, how do you put it all together into some sort of strategy? For example, let me give you an idea. One of the things we teach is that you want to have a content or media day, and you just have one day a month. This is what we do in our business, is we have one day a month where we put it all together. If that one day a month doesn't work for you, have one day a week where you put all of your content out for that week of what you want to put out there. And the other thing is you need to plan this far in advance. And you don't just do it that week or that month. I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to do this. You need to understand what content works and why, and how does it relate to your offer. So if you're putting content out in one realm, but your offer is talking about something else, it's not going to work. It's not going to land with your audience. So you want to make sure these are critical pieces. Do it in a block. Chunk it all together. Make sure it's in alignment. What your content is and what your offer is need to be aligned together. All right. And then also plan it out far in advance. If you look at any type of retail store, they have a yearly marketing calendar. If you don't have a yearly marketing calendar, you need to just type in call down below, and we can get you a sample of our weekly or our yearly content calendar so that we know every single month what's coming up and how to plan around that. So it's absolutely essential. If you're really running your business like a business and it's not a project, it's not a hobby, you need to have an annual calendar to know where everything goes, where you will be all the time and where your content will be all the time. You have to have that much advanced planning. All right. So here's how this works. For your content conversion system, and it is a system, okay? I'm going to give you an idea here. And think about way back in the day when you used to be a child and you used to play with your toys, and you probably had some Legos. You guys remember Legos? Okay, well, let me show you how this looks when you're thinking about your content and how you take it from just pieces or just concepts into a complete conversion system. And this is what I want to show you here. And this is a hypergrowth marketing system, okay? And what it does, if you look on the top here, it starts with the data. What is the data that you have, okay? Meaning, what are all the pieces, okay? Do you see up at the top there, it shows you just all these, a pile of pieces. And that's all your content, your ideas. Maybe you did surveys and you asked your audience, what are they doing? That's all the data, all these things that you want to figure out. And then you have to put them in places. And then you're going to sort it. Okay. That is the next thing. You need to sort your data into different piles as far as what type of data it is. And we'll talk about that in a second. And there are at least 4 areas that you're going to want to kind of break it up into. So there's going to be content that you'll have for holidays and special events. There's going to be the regular content. Then there might be special continuity plans. There could be calls to action that you have. So you want to break it out into what is what, okay? And where does it go? Maybe you have different channels and you want to sort it out by the different channels, and you might want to sort it out by who's in charge and who's actually delivering that content. So hopefully you have a team that can deliver that at different times. Now that you have it sorted out, okay, the next thing is you want to arrange it. And so that means within each of those buckets, so to speak, you want to arrange it. How are you going to put what piece goes first? What parts are together? Is it one piece, or like what we're doing right now is a 3-part series? How are you going to arrange it? And then how do you put it together visually? Like, visual aspect is very important. A lot of people miss this. And I want to cover this for a second because this is really important. The visual presentation of your marketing is a visual presentation of your business. And if your business is really polished and streamlined and systemized and it's just smooth, but your marketing is all over the place and the look is inconsistent, that is going to turn people off. They will never even get into your system. So you want to make sure there's alignment again between the appearance and how you put everything together visually once it goes from the data into the sorting, into the arrangement, and then into the visual presentation. Is this making sense so far? Okay. So let me know, have you been thinking about marketing this way at all? Or do you just think, okay, I got to put something up? I'm told I have to do 3 posts a day or 1 post a day, or I have to go live once a week, or I have to do one thing on 8 different platforms. What are you doing? Okay. What I want you to do down below is type below, what is your number one platform? Where is the number one place that you put most of your content? Okay. And because there's different building blocks. Is it on your podcast? Is it maybe on Instagram? Is it Facebook? Is it YouTube? Where are you putting your content? Where do most people come to you? Maybe it's Pinterest if you have a really strong visual brand. And maybe it's LinkedIn and you have a very professional audience that comes to you. So where is your number one place? And this is very important because when you're looking at the visual presentation, guess what? Every single one of those platforms has a completely different look. And if you're going to try and put on what you have on Pinterest, on LinkedIn, it's not going to work, or what you have on LinkedIn into Facebook, it's going to be a different look, and that's not going to connect to your audience. So it's not going to convert, right? Because what we're talking about in this first step is all about the conversion of your content. So let's go back to the drawing here on step 1. And so you've got it visually presented based on where you are putting that content. Okay. So don't think you can just be lazy and put all the same stuff everywhere. You can't do it. Okay. You don't need hashtags on Facebook, but you sure want to put them on Instagram, but they're going to be totally different than how you do it on LinkedIn. Okay. Now, once you have it all visually presented, it should be explained with a story. So everything that you're doing should go back to your story. So does this make sense? So you start with the data, you sort it out into the different categories, arrange it within each of those categories. When is it going out? How is it going out? How is it delivered? How is each one visually presented? And then does that tell a story? Because story is everything in marketing. People aren't just going to buy because the facts. They want to hear a story. They want to be emotionally engaged. They want to know, wow. They want to follow it. Just like if you're reading a book to a class of kindergartners, right? And they just go, oh, wow. And you have to make it visually entertaining. You have to make it sound great. You have to have all kinds of things. You can't just do one thing over and over and over. That's the biggest mistake that I see most people doing, because I go out and I look at your stuff. Now, if you want a content audit, if you want us to come in and do an audit of your social media and see what does your content look like, should I change it? Or maybe you don't even know how to do it. Maybe you're horrible. Maybe you don't have, maybe you're colorblind. You can't figure this out. If you want help, we actually have the Iconic Design Group, and we can look at that and tell you exactly what's working and what's not, okay? And you can show us your entire media calendar for the whole year or for the rest of the year. You should be working on 2022 right now. And show us your media calendar and we will help you out. We will help you figure out, is that right or is it not going to convert? Because there's no sense in putting out marketing unless it converts. And marketing is 85% of your business growth. So if you want hyper growth, you have to have hyper awesome marketing. Okay. Is this making sense? Okay. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if this is making sense to you guys. Okay. Good. Now, let's go to number 2. The second thing about your marketing that you have to do to have hyper growth in your business. Let's take a look at that. So this is the process of delivery. We showed you just a second ago all of the different categories, how you have to lay it out, how it has to lead to a story. Why does it have to lead to a story? Because that's what engages people. Just like you should have a book. You should have a book that tells the story of your business, okay? And so this is the process of delivery. Now, keep in mind, we only have a few more days. We only have 2 more days until the live Zoom call. I will be live. I will be live with Cast and Stone Media, the publishing company. We are going to show you how to write your book in 13 weeks. And this will be the central piece to your marketing. Everything will start to revolve around it, and it includes everything. It's a whole biosphere that you have once you have a book. If you don't have a book, you lose a lot of credibility. Your marketing is about 75% there. Getting a book is just another weapon that you have that few people have, because anybody can make content, but not anybody can write a book. So we're going to show you how to write a book in 13 weeks. All you have to do is type Zoom down below and we will help you with that book. I've written 2 #1 bestsellers, so I will be teaching the class as well. And we have all of the time open for all the questions in the world that you might have. And actually last time we did this last Thursday, and we had so many people who couldn't make that Thursday. So we're repeating it. It's not a replay. This is us live again answering your questions. You might have come last week to the book writing class and maybe you didn't get your question answered, or maybe you were shy. Come again. If you want to see some more stuff, it is going to be 100% live, all interactive. We'll talk and you can ask us anything. Bring us your titles, bring us your book ideas. If you've got a book already, but it flopped, the average author only sells 100 books. That's sad, right? So books become a revenue stream for you. And I have had continuous monthly revenue off of books for years. So I want you guys to have the same thing. So now let's talk about this delivery of the content. How do you get it out there? Okay. So and just like with everything, there's a couple different styles of putting your content out there. And you need to do all 4 of them, okay? All 4 are absolutely essential. So the first content strategy is to teach. How many people teach, right? Are you one of these people? You're always teaching. This is how you do it, and step this, and then you go to this step, and then you go to this step, and you do these specific diagrams and outlines, and you walk people through every step. Well, that is one method of doing it, okay? So to teach them and show them exactly how to do that, that's important. But you can't stop there. You have to do more than that. And if you only educate, you will have your audience dissipate. Okay, so you can't just teach. People will disappear. It's too left brain. It's too logical. This is social media. This is online stuff. And people want multimedia. Okay, you have to have all kinds of media going on. You can't just use one thing. So teaching is good, but teaching is also very basic. Okay, it's at the base level of what you do. If all you're doing is teaching, you're only going to be getting beginners. Okay. Now think about that. If you're only getting beginners, you're probably not able to escalate your offer to a high ticket offer. And if you're struggling with low ticket offers, ask yourself, am I teaching too much? So the #1 cardinal sin that people do, and where do you see this a lot, is for people that still do webinars. And in webinars, people overteach, and that's why your conversion rate is like 0.5%. So if you are guilty of this, it's always great to be a teacher, especially if you're a coach or an expert on something, but it's your Achilles heel. And it is going to take your business down. Teaching is the lowest level. It's the base level. If that's all you can do, you're only going to get base level clients, and you're not going to be able to up level it and take your business to 7 figures. And that's what we always focus on, getting your business to 7 figures in 1 year. So what's the second level? How many of you are teachers? Put in there if you teach, right? Teach if you do a lot of teaching. Okay. I don't care if you're live. I don't care if you're watching a replay. Put in what you do, because of these 4, we can help you out and get you better strategies to incorporate all of them, or the one that's missing. Okay. Now, if you don't do any teaching at all, you still need to. And if you don't know how to teach or what to teach, just book a call with us. It's 5-10 minutes, and we'll give you some ideas based on your industry. Okay, so just do #call me and we'll give you some ideas. And that'll work for any of these 4. So what's the second one? What's the second content delivery process? Is to inspire. Right? Everybody wants to feel good. Look what's going on in the world. Who doesn't want to feel great? Right? And it's important to inspire your audience. And they want to feel good. Don't you always seem to buy more when you feel good? Okay, yes, there's always retail therapy, when you're not feeling good. But if you can have your audience feel good about you and about your content, guess what? They're going to want to stick with you. And so have you noticed a lot of people will do fun memes or quotes or pictures that are inspiring stories, motivational quotes on YouTube? You see all those motivational videos and things and compilations, and maybe you have a positive quote every day, and that's your thing. And people go and they look at your feed on whatever online platform you are, and they're like, this is nice, this is good, this is inspiring, isn't that fun? And maybe you even share it, but it doesn't do anything. It makes you feel good, but it doesn't do anything. It isn't gonna convert. So you can't just do that. Okay. And some of you say, oh, I'm teaching and I'm inspiring. Okay, that's good. You're about 50% of the way there. But so first base level is teaching and then inspiring. Okay. So, but you're still not at the top. There's 2 more levels that are going to get you to a high ticket. And that's what's going to take you to hyper growth. So don't stop at teaching. Don't stop at inspiring. It's not enough. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you the next 2, but if you do want the replay, just go ahead and type replay down below, and one of the concierges will reach out to you in the DM immediately and get you the replays. If you like this and you didn't get the sales one on lesson 1, that was part 1, then type replay 1. If you want both, type replay 1 and 2, or just both replays. My team is amazing and they will help you out with everything that you need. Now, the third thing is, this is the hard one. This is where people get stuck. And that is content that will engage your audience. How many of you have content that is engaging your audience? What are you doing? What can you do? Right? What things, put in the comments down below. What are you doing to engage your audience? What are you doing to getting them to comment? Do you have any posts that go viral, or every time you put a video up, it's crickets? And you can go your whole feed and there might have been on 2 hands, you counted how many comments there were. You want to get people to engage. If they're not engaging, they're not connecting, and they're not going to connect with you later. So there's a lot of ways that you can engage your audience, but if it's not happening, you're not going to get hyper growth. And there's at least 3 ways that you can engage your audience. So you need to do all 3 of them at least, at a minimum. Okay. Now, again, when you look at your calendar, right, your content calendar, what are you putting out there? That's where you have to look at it. How do you balance these 3? How do you balance teaching, inspiring, and engaging, right? Okay. If it's lopsided and you're too heavy on the teaching or too heavy on the motivation and you can't get them to engage, just a whole bunch of likes on, oh, I love that quote, that's not engagement. Okay. They're not taking action. They're not moving forward. They're not asking questions. So you've got to get them to engage. And let's look at the 4th one. And the 4th one is believe. You want people to believe as you believe. What is your message? What is it that you're trying to convey to your audience? And are they hearing that enough? Do they understand it? Do they believe it? So how are you expressing your conviction about what you believe? So you can't just be all hope and hype. You have to have conviction about something. Right? So think about why you're here. The iconic entrepreneur, you're somebody rare, you're somebody different, and you have something about you that makes you stand out, that is distinguished. Okay. That's what we believe. That's what we promote. And it is what has helped us take not only our company, but our clients' companies from 0 to 6 figures to 7 figures in 1 year without that stress, the struggle, and the overwhelm. Right? Why? Because they understand and they start to believe what we're convicted about. Number 1, there's got to be a war on mediocrity. You have to stop being mediocre. You have to stop playing small. You have to stop being like everything else. The other thing we believe firmly is that you must elevate your mind. You have to think different. You have to start thinking like a 7-figure earner. You have to understand that you are iconic, that you are different. You have something amazing to deliver to the world and they need to hear it. Are you able to put that out there? And are you able to deliver it in a way that they get it instantly? Like, oh, that's easy. I can do that. You have to have such strong belief that they don't turn away. That your belief and your conviction has to be so strong in what you are talking about that even if they didn't get inspired and they weren't learning something and you weren't teaching them, they still wanted to engage. Like, I get this. I need this. I want to have that. I want to have a 7-figure business. I want $1 million business to be my starting point. I want to be at the point that I don't ever have to worry about money again. I don't ever have to think, can I qualify for something? Which one should I have? If I want to take a program, if I want to go on a trip, if I want to hire people, grow my staff, I don't have to think about money ever again. That's what we preach. That's what we're convicted about. That is our belief. It is part of our manifesto. And that's how we are. And we know exactly how to get you to that place. So that is our firm belief. And people hear what we stand for and like, that's why they come in. But what is it for you? What is your belief and how are you getting that message out to your audience? And let me show you one other thing that is really important. And now I want to talk about something. It's called the eye of the hurricane. Okay. I used to live in Florida. Anybody here in Florida? Let me know if you've been in Florida or you are in Florida. Maybe you just know where Florida is on the map. Give me a yes. Come on, let me know. Okay, so I live in Florida, and I always seem to live in the mountains or water. Okay, so I live on the beach, and we have, it's an island called Singer Island, and a hurricane is coming. It's hurricane season, right? So a hurricane is coming. They think it's going to be a Cat 2, and no big deal. You don't have to vacate the island if it's a Cat 2 hurricane, but you do have to leave the island if it's a Category 3. And if you don't leave, you have to sign something and let the fire department, everybody know that they are not responsible to come and save you if you stay on the island during a Cat 3 hurricane. Okay, so I hadn't been through a hurricane. I thought this would be kind of fun. I don't need to leave for a Cat 2. But guess what? As it crossed Lake Okeechobee in Florida and came across the central part of Florida, it had switched courses. It didn't go over land. It went over the lake, and it's a huge lake, and it picked up steam and lots of steam. And that Cat 2 hurricane became a Cat 4 hurricane by the time it came to our island. And we didn't know. It was too late, and nobody could evacuate then. So we're stuck in a Category 4 hurricane. I don't know if you guys have ever been in one. It's amazing. The noises and the sounds and the winds and in the middle of the day, like I had a 5-foot stucco fence around the front part of my house, and my storm shutters kind of cracked open a little bit, and I could see out during the Category 4 hurricane, and I'd see lawn furniture flying at 6-7 feet in the air, and cars moved down the road and trees just sideways through it was amazing. And it sounded like a whole state of fire trucks was in front of my house just going all this noise. It was so loud. And then it stopped, right? And everyone's checking with all the neighbors. We come out in the street to assess the damage and see how everyone is doing. And it was so still. It was the closest on earth I've ever felt like I was in heaven. Okay. It was absolutely still. It was not eerie, but it was serene. It was surreal. And nothing, right? The skies were perfectly blue. You could not see a cloud anywhere. And in Florida, it's so hot, it's 90 degrees, right? And things dry like that. You didn't know. We waited about 10-15 minutes after the hurricane ended to go outside. Everything was dry. Things were a mess, right? Strewn all over the place. It was completely dry. This was the eye. It was so still. It was so peaceful. You just wanted to get your keys and go shopping or go to the beach or whatever. It didn't feel like you just had a hurricane. Well, we only had the front part of the hurricane, and then the eye, and then the Wicked Witch comes, and that's the back part of the hurricane. And the back part of the hurricane is about twice as bad as the front. I don't know if you guys have anybody been in a hurricane. Put if you have. Let me know who's been in a hurricane. It's a trip. Now, would I do another Cat 4? No, I'm not stupid. But it was kind of exciting. I got to tell you, I don't regret it. But then the second part of the hurricane comes, and it's really wicked. And so here's what happens. When you're in the eye, it's so peaceful. You think everything is good. This is good. The icky part went away, right? And then we're standing there. All the neighbors are talking. There's not a breeze. It's so still. I don't even know if the ocean was moving. It was that still. And then all of a sudden I noticed a leaf on the ground flipped over. And then I felt a little breeze. And then all the birds left again. And then you started seeing a couple clouds. And then you saw a few more clouds. And then it wasn't just the cirrus clouds, the thin wispy ones. Then it was big clouds. Then the sky was gray. And then it was getting chilly. Like you could see the thermometers just drop just like that. And that whole peaceful feeling disappeared. And it was like, storm's coming. It was like winter's coming. You know how you can smell snow in the air? Okay, you knew something was coming, and then the winds were kicking up. It was just eerie feeling then, and we all scurry back in our houses, right? We still don't know because there's no power. We still don't know that it's a Cat 4. None of us really know until the next day. And then Cat 4, this is in the middle of the afternoon. That Cat 4 in the back end lasted till about 10 o'clock at night. It was hours and hours and hours and hours of this. And it was twice as horrific as the first time. Why do I tell you that really seemingly unrelated story to marketing? Because this is where we are in the world and where you are in your marketing phase. Okay. So we are in an eye of the storm, right? We all know what happened. There was this thing in a pandemic, right? And then it was awful for about 18 months. And then restrictions were lifted. And, it's like nothing really happened. The stock market didn't go down. Gosh, look what Bitcoin did, all these things. So many companies who were primed took advantage of a downfall like you should and skyrocketed. Our company went from 0 to 1,000,004 in 9 months, 9.5 months. So many people took off. And then it was we in the eye, right? This is like the eye right now. And it seems so good. And it seems like we're going to skate. Everything's good. What did you do before the hurricane? You were doing the same thing. Like, it's so good. I don't have to push. No big deal. And it all got ripped away from you, didn't it? Everything changed. Everything changed. Well, that's what the next thing that's coming up. Everything is about to change dramatically, more so than what we just went through. You guys see it. You see 3 huge things happened on the news today or in this week, right? In the last little bit. And you think, wow, but are they related? Is a war related to, natural disasters and things like that? I don't know. It's sort of like, why did the leaf turn over? Right? Why did the birds fly away? They're just signs of what's coming. The back end of that hurricane is coming, and you have to be braced for it this time. Don't keep saying, I didn't know. Of course, there's an eye, and it's a circle, and it comes out, and it's going to come. So are you braced for that? This is why we're talking about hyper growth. You have to have hyper growth in your business so that you can be ahead of things and you can outrun the hurricane that is coming. And too many people are playing small still. They're playing little bit. They're amateur hour in challenges and in courses of 4, 6, 12 weeks doesn't work. Okay, wake up, wake up, wake up. The back of the storm is coming. You have to wake up. You have to have your positioning out there. You have to have your marketing out there. You have to have your sales out there. You have to be able to service your existing clients so they don't disappear. This is huge. And yes, this is what I believe in. And this is the marketing. This is why I've had 5 multi-million-dollar companies in my life built from scratch with no outside funding, marketing, or anything. Because I watch the markets. I understand looking for the signs. And I'm trying to give you guys a sign that the back end of that hurricane is coming. It's going to be wicked. Okay, so you've got to be prepared. This is why we have come out with the book marketing, to get you a book. So come January, you are ready. You are ahead of the game. Your book is done. You are a leader. You are an icon. You are somebody people look to. You have a celebrity factor. Okay. Let me talk about this for a minute because this is important. You need a celebrity factor about you. This is what I mean by that. There's no accident that we're called the iconic entrepreneurs, right? We're set apart. But think about this. How do you have celebrity in your marketing? What are you doing to create that celebrity factor? So let me just kind of go over this. What I'm talking about is you need to get seen. You need to be heard and paid. Look at this. Do you remember the old Hollywood era? Don't you just love that stuff? There was something different about Hollywood actors in the day, wasn't it? That whole charisma they had, that mystique, but all eyes were on them. This is the secret to scaling your business faster. You need a celebrity factor. I'm not talking about, I want to be on TV. That's childish, okay? You need an iconic status. That is a celebrity factor. Remember those old black and white movies? Wasn't that just cool? You can still watch them today and it's still captivating. Why? Because they're timeless. They're principles. They don't go away. They're not fads. So type celebrity down below. We're going to do a special workshop on that. How do you get your celebrity factor? It's coming up September 20th. And all you have to do is type hashtag celebrity if you want to boost your celebrity factor. And be prepared, because yes, it's all cool and easy right now. We're in the eye of the storm, but what's coming is going to be scary. So you have to be braced for that so that you don't disappear. You have to be the one standing when everything is done. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, so put down hashtag celebrity if you would like to be invited to that event. It is September 20th. I am teaching it. It's not a whole bunch of other people or anything like that. This is me just teaching you how to do that. Why should I? Well, you know, when I was 14, I became one. Became very famous in the fashion industry, was model of the year, my first year modeling, all these kind of things, did commercials and acting and all different movies and things. So I understand that. But how do you translate that to business? And I understand business, working with Fortune 200 companies. So we want to put the two together and help you do that. And then we're going to make it a triple whammy by showing you how to have a book that gives you that celebrity status. No, you don't have to be a famous model or actor or anything else. You just need to take your knowledge, your thing, your gift, your genius, and make that the celebrity factor. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. Otherwise, you're just going to be like everybody else. You're just going to be a business coach. You're just going to be a mindset coach. You're going to be a fitness coach, or you're going to be a doctor, or you're going to be a chiropractor, but you don't have that Hollywood mystique, right? That whole era was amazing. It's still around today. But why? Because it's timeless. It works. It captures people's attention. There's a different nature, a different way that they carry themselves, a way that they think, that makes them last and timeless. And that's what you want your business to do. 85% of the businesses don't last these days more than 5 years. I'm talking corporations on the stock market. So you have to be a business and a company and a brand that lasts. And if you don't have that celebrity factor, your brand is nothing. You might not even have a brand. Okay. Again, if you need a brand, if you need some brand work, want us to audit it, just type call and we will go ahead and do an audit on your brand, do an audit on your social media and help you out. This is what we're trying to do. Give you ways to grow your brand, grow your business, and make it last so you can have $1 million business within a year. Is that making sense? Okay, cool. And then the last thing that I want to let you guys know is you have to have, for hypergrowth, this content this is sort of the gold standard, right? It has to be shareable content. Are people going to do anything with it? Will they share it? How do you get all these eyeballs to start going to their keyboard and sharing it out in the world? If you don't have shareable content, again, you're not able to get them engaged. You need to get them engaged, and then they will remember. You've got to be memorable. That's part of the celebrity factor as well. So how are you going to do it? Because guess what? Likes, that's great. I love that. I love that. I love that. But how do you get them to do this? How do you get them to share it and spread the news? Okay, so is this making sense? Okay, you've got to make your content become shareable. That's the virality that we all talk about, right? You want to have everybody wants viral content. One of my clients actually put one post on. It was a short 10-second video. We've been talking about all of these different ways that, to get, out there. And so she put this out there, and overnight she had, what was it? It was like 8 million views. 8 million overnight. Now that's shareable content. It was amazing. Okay. I asked her about 2 weeks ago how many, and by that time it was maybe about 2 or 3 weeks old, and she was at 14 million. How would you like your Instagram to go viral like that with 14 million? She had like maybe a couple hundred people on her Instagram. And over the weekend, she had 10,000 followers. Instantly verified. One, maybe it wasn't 10 seconds. It was probably about 30-second video. It was so short. She wasn't even in the video. Okay. So that's what you need to do. Okay. That will change your business. Make it shareable. Okay. So those are the three things that we talk about. How do you have hyper growth with your marketing? Number one, you have to have a content conversion system. If you don't have a system for all of this, you're wasting your time and you're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to get caught in the weeds. You're going to end up doing $20 an hour things when you should be doing $500 an hour activities. Number two is you need a process of delivery. How are you delivering that? Which is your process? Are you teaching? Are you inspiring? Are you engaging? Or are you sharing your belief? And number three is you need shareable content. And if you want to know how did that go viral, you want to see it, just type in call me or just say, hey, I want to know that I want to see that content, and I'll make sure that we show it to you. Just say, hey, I want to see that viral ad and what it looks like, why it went viral, and you'll see. I'm not lying. It's like around 14 million, or at least it was a little while ago. What would that do? When I had a strong YouTube channel, it did the same thing. I didn't know what it was, but it was apparently a hot topic. This was way before anybody was really on YouTube. And in the morning, I had like 14,000 views from 10 o'clock at night to 6 in the morning. So this is amazing. You just have to know how to do it. Okay. So if you need help with your marketing, just type call and we can either sit on a hot seat. We can give you a 10-minute call, just get you pointed in the right direction, at least get you enough that for this month coming up for September, it's a September to remember, and you're not caught still standing in the eye when the back end of the hurricane is coming. Okay. So I want you guys to come back here next Tuesday, 5:05, and we're going to go over part 3. And this is how you have hyper growth in your business by nurturing and keeping all the business you have and making what you have grow rather than always looking out and trying to get new marketing. Okay. And new is good, but you can't ignore what you have, right? And how do you maximize that? So what if you could never get another new client, but your business could then double without any new business? Wouldn't that be amazing? Well, that's what we're going to show you next week. Remember, if you want to come learn how to get a book, learn how to have that celebrity factor, then you want to just type Zoom down below and come to our Zoom call on Thursday. We'll put some more stuff out here. It is invitation only. You do have to register. It is limited. We did sell out last time, so we are repeating the event, but it is live. It is not a replay. It is always live with us. Okay. So have a great night, everybody. We will see you on Thursday, 5:30 p.m. And I will just remind you, make sure that you have your celebrity up. Okay. You want to be a celebrity, especially as the storm is coming. All right, you guys have a great night.